Good morning, solopreneurs and side hustlers. Listen, have you ever struggled with trying to figure out what exactly it means when people say, man, all you got to do is build a brand, build your brand online, build your brand, but you don't know what they're saying. You don't know which direction to go. Well, I want to welcome you on a journey as we kick off our first series of the year on how to build a powerful, attractive, and profitable online brand as a solopreneur. And I'm super excited to have you here. So do me a huge favor as you're coming into the room, comment where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand, and let me know if you have had someone tell you to build a brand, but you don't know exactly what they meant when they said build a brand. And we're going to dive right in today. Basically, this new format of show is going to be highly actionable. I'm going to share with you some resources and some tools, and then I'm going to give you some screen share examples of how to execute on some of the brand building tools and resources. I do want to mention, though, really quickly that if you want to pick my brain, we do have live open office hours immediately following today's live stream, which is expected to go somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. And then after which you can go to cortezhustle.com/open office hours to join me in a private Zoom room and ask any questions that you may have about building your brand or building an online business in general. There's some additional links in the comments. We do have a free community with free courses, tools, and resources for you guys to check out over at the Solopreneur Survival School as well. So just wanted to mention that. Now, I'm going to share my screen because I have this blog article that I'm going to be referencing quite a bit here. And I'm going to give you a lay of the land of what we're going to do today, but also kind of give you a heads up on what's coming in the next 3 days as well. So let me hit this screen share and get this set up for you guys. Entire screen over there. Yes. All right. So I put together a blog post, not only just to share the content, but I need to stay organized when I do these trainings to make them efficient and effective. So let me just open this up a little bit. That way you can see what we're reading today as well. So basically today is going to be the foundation, right? Define your brand identity. That's what we're going to be covering today. Tomorrow, we're going to do build your brand's online presence. You do not want to miss that. So many solopreneurs are reluctant to commit to building an online presence, or some of them don't even know what or how to do it. So I'm going to share that with you guys tomorrow. The time is going to be slightly different, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get the notification, because going forward, we're going to do this at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time versus 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I had a meeting that I couldn't move today, so that's why we are here just a little bit early. And then on Wednesday, we're going to talk about engaging your audience with content. How many of you guys would like to have a solid strategy for creating content regularly and consistently? Put content in the comments if you would like a strategy that can help you in that area. And then on Thursday, we're going to talk about building and nurturing your community and some of the tools and resources that I use for that. And then Friday, we do a live Q&A for our members. We do stream that live, but you have to be one of our paid members to get in the Zoom room to be able to ask your questions. And that's going to happen on Friday. So let's just go back up here and talk about some things. I found this quote from Neil Patel, and it really resonates with what I believe a brand actually is. Ladies and gentlemen, your brand is your promise to your customers. It tells them what they can expect from your products and services, and it differentiates your offering from your competitors. I want you to think about your favorite restaurant, your favorite place to shop, your favorite your favorite clothing brand, right? when you think of that brand, you think of a certain expectation or a certain product or a certain something comes to mind when you think of that brand. So as I'm defining the brand for the Solopreneur Survival School, what I want you guys to think about when you see me and this brand, that I'm going to help you as a solopreneur or side hustler turn your passions and experience into a passive income empire. And everything that you see from me from this day forward will be in support of that mission, right? So when I talk about some things that make up a brand, I even asked ChatGPT what were some of the things that people struggle with when they are trying to create a brand, especially as a solopreneur. And let me just hop over there real quick and read you a couple of those, because I thought that they was spot on. You guys know that ChatGPT ain't always on point with, everything, but some of these things were absolutely on point when I thought about my own self building my brand and trying to put all the pieces together, and what was causing me to be reluctant to build a brand. And so here are 4 common reasons solopreneurs often neglect to build a personal brand. And you comment the number of the one that you are struggling with right now. So number 1, lack of time and resources. Solopreneurs juggle multiple roles, from sales and marketing to customer service and accounting. The heavy workload leaves little time to focus on branding efforts, which can seem less urgent compared to immediate business needs. Drop a 1 in the comments if that's one of the reasons you have been slow to commit to building a brand. Number 2, this is a huge one, and this is one that I struggle with among some of the other ones as well. Misunderstanding branding altogether, right? Many solopreneurs think personal branding is just about logos and color schemes, not realizing it's about crafting a compelling narrative and showcasing unique value. This misunderstanding can lead them to neglect deeper branding efforts that differentiate them from competitors, right? Misunderstanding what a brand is. A brand goes so much further beyond a logo and a color palette. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you my thoughts on creating a logo and how I created my logo using Canva. But I like to have multiple versions or forms of my logo. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to take the logo that I have and convert it to a different form. So misunderstanding branding. When you think about your brand is your promise, so that everything that you do, like my favorite example of this is Walmart. Walmart's brand is what? Everyday low prices. They are so committed to the brand. Y'all think they don't hear the noise when people talk about the store is a little bit cluttered? Y'all think they don't hear the noise when people talk about, man, they got 40 checkout lanes, but only 2 people working the checkout counter, right? So the lines are long. Y'all think they don't hear the noise when you complain about the parking spaces are small? So when I get out my car, I'm fearful of dinging the next person's car. They hear all of that stuff, but they are committed to the brand, to the promise. What is that promise? Everyday low prices. If they go hire 15 more checkers to fill all of those lines, guess what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to raise the price, right? If they hire more staff to keep the store neat and organized, like say a Target or some of the other bigger brands, guess what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to raise the price. So what you have to figure out and decide for yourself is, when I create my brand, I'm going to be committed to this promise, and everything that I do is going to be run through the filter of that promise, right? Number 3, this was also a big one for me. Imposter syndrome, right? Some solopreneurs feel they lack the expertise or credibility to build a strong personal brand. This imposter syndrome can deter them from promoting themselves effectively despite having valuable skills and knowledge. This is one that is super, super, super common amongst all entrepreneurs, not just solopreneurs, but especially in the beginning. And I'll tell you why I struggled and what helped me to overcome that. I struggled with creating the first brand that I created online in 2015, the Financial Health Mentor, and I was able to grow that brand to over 100,000 followers on Facebook and tons of subscribers on YouTube and other platforms. And that brand really paid my bills for a long, long, long time. I still have some residuals coming from that brand, right? But what caused me to feel the imposter syndrome is because the brand was dealing with personal finances and I wasn't rich yet, right? I'm still not rich. I'm a lot closer than I was to being rich when I started that brand because of that brand. But I thought I had to be rich and have it all together before I started promoting a brand in a financial wellness space. And what really did it for me, y'all, was I'm thinking about the people who know me personally. And I'm thinking about what they're going to think when I build this brand and get on this journey to building generational wealth. But you know what I was not thinking about, and I'm encouraging all of you to think about? You are not building the brand for the people who already know you. No, you are not. Let me say it again. You are not building the brand for the people who already know you. You're building the brand for the people that you have been called here to serve. And those people do not know you yet. They don't know that you are just getting started as an entrepreneur. And sometimes getting started as an entrepreneur, I have a coaching client who runs a successful lawn care and landscaping business, right? And he feels this imposter syndrome sometimes. And I have to remind him that while you have just recently started to take your business seriously, where you got your paperwork filed, websites, and you got a CRM system, and you're ready to file taxes on the business and all that stuff. You are just now starting that, but you've been servicing lawns professionally since you were a teenager. You've been getting, what's the difference between an amateur and a professional? A professional gets paid. He's been getting paid to service lawns since he was 16 or 17 years old. Now, just because you just legitimized the business within the last couple of years, don't discount that, no, you have been a professional for a very long time. A lot of us, when we're building our brands, we feel that we have to start over because we're building the brand and leave all of that experience behind. No, bring that experience with you. That's why you're doing what you're doing already, because someone told you that you were good at it, right? So scratch that imposter syndrome, right? Number 4, fear of self-promotion. Personal branding requires self-promotion, which can feel uncomfortable and a little narcissistic to many solopreneurs. They may worry about being perceived as arrogant, leading them to downplay their achievements and expertise. This is huge, again, for me, and something that I'm battling and overcoming. Guys, I've been online and I've been building successful brands for a long, long time, right? But I don't often talk about myself and my services and what I do, and especially what I have done in the past. I've helped hundreds of people make their first dollar on the internet, y'all. I've trained tens of thousands of people all over the world with my content on building brands and using the internet to make money. But even when I just said that just now, it feels a little awkward, me saying that out loud, right? So you got to learn how to not be fearful of self-promotion, because to advertise simply means to make known, to use the Alex Hormozy definition, right? He's popularized that, but when you look it up, that's what it says, to make known. A lot of us are not making the type of money we would like to make in our business because we simply have not made known to enough people what we do, how we do it, how well we do it, and more importantly, how we do it differently than anybody else, right? So that's huge. Let's get into a couple of these other things, but then I also want to go ahead and show you how to create a logo using Canva. Even if you don't have the paid version of Canva, a lot of people really overthink this, and I don't want you to be one of them. So what are some of the other elements that make up a solid brand, right? So let's jump back over to the screen share and let's talk about it real quick. So we talked about what a brand is, and this is our 4-step guide to building a powerful, attractive, and most of all, profitable brand. So first of all, understanding personal branding. It's more than a logo, right? We talked about that. First thing you need to do is identify your brand values, mission, and vision. What principles guide your actions and decisions? Your brand's value should align with your personal beliefs and resonate with your target audience. So for instance, one of my personal beliefs is, and this is what guides me on my journey as a coach, is I truly believe, we were taught in school that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. I believe the shortest distance between poverty and wealth is a straight line called entrepreneurship. I also believe what the Bible says about your gifts making room for you and putting you before great men, or in other words, making room for you at the top. If you take the things that you are passionate about and that you are already gifted and good at, and you package and present those things to the marketplace, I believe that there is provision in that. And I also believe that's why God gave you that particular gift or that passion that led you to developing that particular gift. It's all for you to be able to fulfill a purpose. And your purpose, ladies and gentlemen, will provide provision when you become bold enough to start walking in it, right? So I go humbly and boldly at the same time before all of you, encouraging you to build a business that you are passionate about and share your gifts and talents with the world. Mission statement. What is your purpose? My purpose is to help side hustlers and solopreneurs make more money with less effort by deploying the right systems, automation, and leveraging AI technology. Why I'm not so serious about that? Because we need more of you to stay in the game long enough to get good enough to graduate from solopreneur to entrepreneur to eventually CEO and business owner, to build the types of businesses that you can ultimately pass down to the next generation or sell for a profit. I believe that God put me on this planet during this space and time to not just be not just create a legacy for me, but to be a legacy builder, right? A builder of legacy builders. So how can I most effectively and efficiently help other people build legacies for their families? It's through entrepreneurship, y'all. And the internet has literally leveled the playing field, so we all have a shot if we take massive, massive action. What is your vision statement? Where do you see your business in the future? Your vision statement should articulate your long-term goals and aspirations, right? Crafting your brand story. I've got a tool that's coming that's going to be part of our membership that's going to help you with your brand story. But your brand story is a narrative that communicates who you are, what you do, and why it matters. It should be authentic, relatable, and engaging. Share your journey, including the challenges you face and the milestones you've achieved. A compelling brand story builds trust and emotional connection with your audience. Now, I'm not going to go into my brand story here, but I will tell you this. At the core of everything I've done in business, it has always been to help others win. And that's what led me to coaching, right? I want to see other people win so bad, sometimes to my own detriment, right? Sometimes I've invested time into people trying to help them win when I wanted them to win more than they wanted them to win, right? But that's just part of my makeup. Then you got your visual branding elements, which most people think a brand starts and ends with that. Yes, I have logos for all of my stuff. You see this shirt is a logo for my agency brand, right? I do have logos, but the whole point of a logo is to be a symbol of the promise. So when you see that little smiley face at Walmart rolling back the prices, that's symbolic of the promise of everyday low prices. So what I'm going to do right now is I want to show you guys how I created my logo for the Solopreneur Survival School and how I'm going to create another version of the same logo using Canva. Let me tell you this, guys. Do not overthink it. Some of us will spend forever on a logo, and I've always said that procrastination is one of those things that people use as an excuse, or perfectionism is a bougie way of procrastinating, is how I like to say it, right? Man, the logo got to be right. I just can't get it right. No, man, you trying to be a perfectionist so you can basically just stall and delay. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys real quick. You'll notice that I believe as a solopreneur, you have to develop some of these skills, right? You don't have to be super proficient in all of them, but making your business known to other people until you can hire a marketing agency or something like that, it's just one of those skills that you absolutely must have. And before I share my screen, I just want to remind you guys, for those of you who would like to join me and pick my brain a little bit, immediately following today, you can go to cortezhustle.com/open office hours and register to get the Zoom link for the office hours. And I'm going to be in there for until the top of the hour. So whenever we end this, if we ended at 10:30 Central, then I'm going to be in the Zoom room answering questions right until 11, right? So let me share my screen and just show you how simple it is to create a logo using Canva, y'all. We do not have to make this stuff hard at all. So if I go here, this is my Canva logo, or my logo for Solo Bible School, right? That is the new brand. You guys are actually going to witness me build this brand all the way from the logo to the content and everything. So the one thing I love about Canva is when this thing fully opens up is once you choose your brand colors, it will literally allow you to create a color palette so that those colors stay in Canva and it's easy for you to just use those same colors over and over. And that's powerful because a lot of times we don't know how we might have colors that are similar, but not exact. Well, Canva allows you to create the exact match. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I look at the Canva with this, right? Because number one, I just didn't want to overthink it. So I'm going to create a new page real quick. And then if I look over here, these are all logo templates. Now, some of these are pro templates. So you see when I highlight over there, it says pro, but this one right here is not pro. This is just a free logo that you can use. So what I was looking for is I wanted to start out with a logo that is square. The other version of a logo that I like to use is the rectangle, right? So I wanted a square logo, and I want a rectangle logo with the same imagery. Just, I don't know if you guys know, and when you're building your online assets and social media and you using your logo on these different places, sometimes a rectangle logo makes better sense than a square logo. So I created the square logo here. And what I like to do is I like to create a logo that's going to look good on a dark background, and a logo that's going to look good on a version that's going to look good on a light background. So that's why you see we basically just inverted the colors, and this is my color. So when I say color palette, if I go over here to change the color of this word, you'll see that these are the colors for all of the brands that I work on regularly. So it makes it very easy to get the exact color that I need for my brand using Canva, right? So I got that down packed. So I'm going to go down here to this last one, and I want a rectangle. Logo, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to delete this, and then I'm going to duplicate this one. Now I'm going to go over here to Canva Magic Resize, and then I want to resize it to a custom size. And I think what I typically do is this 600 by 100. So let me try that. Now I'm going to hit continue. So it says, do I want to resize all three of these? No. I only want to resize the last one because I want that one to be rectangle, but I want the other two to be square. So I hit continue. It's going to resize it. Now, basically what's going to happen is going to copy it and resize it into another editing board, which is cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and open that. And man, I'm looking at the preview, and that might be a little too short. I like it long, but it might not be as high as I want it. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to magic resize it one more time. All right, come on, Canva. And all I'm going to do, guys, to make it a rectangular logo is I'm just going to move the words from underneath and put them on the side and still keep my crest. So I'm going to do custom resize again. 580 by 280. Let's try this one. I've done this before. I just can't remember which logo I use it on. Okay, so now I'm just going to say, instead of copy and resize, I'm going to say, let's just resize this design because I don't need to make another copy of it. Come on. All right. There we go. So now it's starting to do what I needed to do. So all I'm going to do when this populates is I'm going to ungroup this image so that I can move each one of these individually. Now, these two images I do want to group because I want them to stay the same. So I'm going to go back and group them. So now I can move this over here like that. Oh, I forgot to group one thing. So let me ungroup it. Now I need to group. Because there's actually another little image in here. Yeah, you see that image right there? It's not letting me highlight that one. But that's the image that I want to move. So let me just see if I can do it this way. All right. So let me ungroup it. Group. Yeah, see this right here is throwing me off. All right, now that I group it, there we go. So now I got it all grouped. So now what I want to do is I want to make this big as I can get it. And then I want to make these words bigger and stretch them all the way out. So I can make a rectangle logo so that I can use in different places. And when I look at this, I'm like, okay, I need to, let's move this over to the, just opposed to the left. Do the same thing, kick that over to the left so I can align them right, and boom. So now I'm starting to create a more of a rectangle logo, which is what I want. However, I need it to be smaller. So I'm gonna have to resize it one more time, because really what I want is I want it to be somewhere like this, but I want the whole, I want it to be something like this, but I want it to take up all of this space because I don't like that extra space around there. So let me go from 580, and I'm gonna shrink it down, shrink the height down a little bit. So let's go custom size. Instead of 580, let's do 380. Let's try that. All right. And I'm just going to resize this design. I don't need to resize or make a copy of right one because it made it taller. I'm trying to make the height shorter. All right, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. Yeah, I changed the height, which, why did it change the height? I thought I reduced the height. All right, let me try this one more time. And then we're going to wrap this thing up and get into open office hours. but that in some places. But in some places, a rectangle logo looks better. And I want to keep everything the same while at the same time changing the dimensions. So I'm going to go back to this one and do 600 by 200 is what I'm going to do. All right, 600 by 200. All right, let's see if that gives me what I want. I think that's going to do it right there. So now I'm just going to resize the design. No need to make a copy. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. All right, so now I can get what I want, because ultimately what I want is these words to be really big. I want the crest to take up a significant amount of space. Move that over there, like so. Now we get it centered. Yeah, this is probably more along the lines of what I was looking for. All right, and then just make survival school work where it's supposed to be. Stretch it out. All right, there we go. So now I'm getting what I want. I'm just going to move it over to the edge. Boom, boom. Get that lined up. All right, so I like that. Rectangle, and then all I'm going to do is go to share, download. And when I hit download, I want the transparent version of the download. So I want to remove the background. And then boom. And then all I would do is I would duplicate this so that I have one that's dark and one that's light. So those are my thoughts on building a brand as a solopreneur. So what we're going to do now is we're going to end today. And remember, tomorrow, we're going to start training at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to go into building a powerful online presence tomorrow. I think that's what's up for tomorrow. But in the meantime, if you guys want to jump into open office hours, then you can go to cortezhustle.com/open office hours to get the link for that. And I'll answer any questions that you may have regarding personal branding, building a business online, creating passive income. That's what the Solopreneur Survival School is. Also, in the description is the link to join our free community where you get access to some free online courses, tools, resource, and additional training from yours truly. So till next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.